During that election, Donald Trump told us he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. And he has consistently, since he won, been selling out the American people. He's been selling out working people. He's been selling out our values. He's been selling out national security. And on this issue with Ukraine, he has been selling out our democracy.
California Senator Kamala Harris at this week's debate sounding a familiar refrain from President Trump's opponents that he's a threat to American democracy. But in her new book, our very own Kim Strassel argues that some of the president's harshest critics present a threat of their own, as the so-called resistance violates norms, due process, and even the rule of law in their attempt to take him down. Kim is the author of Resistance at All Costs, which is out this week. Kim, what's the central argument of your book?
The central argument, much like you just said, is that ever since Donald Trump was elected, we've had this group of people that utterly reject the notion that Donald Trump is a legitimate president. They think he's an occupier of that office, and they believe that because he's this existential threat to the country, that they themselves are allowed to cross political boundaries and break certain standards in their effort to oppose him and resist him. And so we've seen it in a whole array of things, but it's doing long-term damage to the country.
All right, give me some examples.
So, okay, great example, the lack of faith right now in the Department of Justice and the FBI. And I cite polls in the book pointing out that there are huge numbers of Americans that no longer trust the FBI to do the right thing.
And this goes back to the 2016 campaign attempt and the misuse, if there was, well, we think there was misuse of the FISA court, for example,
this is
to investigate Trump campaign.
Yeah, directly related to Jim Comey, former FBI Director Jim Comey, the decision to launch a counterintelligence investigation into a sitting presidential campaign. And by the way, that alone has inspired a lot of Americans too. I mean, forget whether or not what kind of abuse was present, but just that. Also take our Senate confirmation process in the wake of Brett Kavanaugh. You know, you've watched Washington as long as I have. You know that usually when you set a new lower, we go even lower beyond that. So where do we go from here? Or most recently, and we were talking about this earlier in the show, that the potential that you're now using impeachment as a partisan political tool. It's a very grave and serious tool. And I keep telling my friends on the left, okay, let's say Joe Biden wins the election next year, but Republicans take back the House. Do we really want an environment where the first thing they do is launch articles of impeachment?
Yeah, well, now, you know, I covered the Bork hearings way back when, so these Supreme Court fights have been horrible for a long time.
Oh, yeah, they're nasty.
So how much of this predates Trump? Because I remember a lot of Democrats saying George W. Bush wasn't legitimate because of the Al Gore fight. And how much of this is actually unique to Trump?
Well, I think you have to say some of it's unique to Trump. Obviously, we've always had fisticuffs in Washington. Obviously, things have been ugly. But have we ever had a situation in which the federal bureaucracy was on a daily basis leaking classified information? I mean, it's scaled up.
You think that's happened to a greater degree regarding Trump?
I don't think that there is any question. I mean, when you watch Kavanaugh, do you actually think it was just equivalent to Clarence Thomas?
No.
It was worse.
Well, the Thomas thing was really, really vicious.
Vicious, but this involved, so one of the things I try to do in the book is talk about kind of standards and protocols that are, or regulations that are violated, to lay them out. You know, and when you have the minority member of the Senate Judiciary Committee withholding this information until after the nominee has completed their hearings, when you have members of the committee saying that they're going to release confidential, sensitive committee information in violation of the rules because they have to do it to stop, you know, Donald Trump and this nominee. When you have liberal senators deputizing the FBI to pass judgment on nominees, I mean, these are new things, and they are new Rubicons that have been crossed.
All right, quick just answer. Are the Democrats in the House going to impeach Donald Trump?
There is no question.